Hello. I'm just having a play around because as you can see, I'm doing things a little bit differently tonight. But unfortunately, while I'm watching this on my phone, I seem to have a delay. So I'm going to run through the masterclass and I hope that you're all with me and you just answer the questions as I go through. Um, it seems to be quite a bit of a delay. So we'll see how that goes, but hopefully it all works out for you guys on the other end because you can't see the two screens. So oh my goodness, so happy to be with you. If you haven't already, make sure that you go and grab yourself a pen and paper, particularly if you have downloaded the homework sheet that was in the registration pack. When you signed up for the masterclass, make sure you've got that with a pen. You are going to love using those 3 homework sheets over the next 3 days. But if you don't, that's okay. Grab a pen and paper. You can still write down so many things on a piece of pen and paper, a piece of pen and paper, a piece of paper and a pen. It's all good. So while we just wait for a few more to hop on here, we're just going to make sure that we are settled in. You've got a glass of water. I've got a cold cup of tea because I made it too early. I hope you've got a cup of tea as well. Maybe you've got a wine on a Sunday night. I'm not really sure. Maybe you've got a water. I can see Connie's on. Hi, Meredith. Hi, Karen. I can see Serena's on. Helen's on. Helen got home in time from Cali. Hi, Joanne. It was so good to have you all here with me tonight. So, welcome to the very first session of our Innerfit 3-day masterclass based on building your summer body. Firstly, I really want to congratulate all of you for joining us here. We have so many good things coming your way in the next 3 days. And I really encourage you to lean in, to trust the process, to do the work, and see the transformation you can actually achieve by the end of the week. All right. And I obviously don't mean that physically. I mean mentally. What transformation can you make from now and in the next few days that's going to set you up? I have so much information that I want to share with you, lovely ladies. And the tough part for me is deciding which is the most important things to get in here in order for you to be able to change things for yourself the way you want to. So I hope from the bottom of my heart that I have given you all the goods and I've given you the best stuff and I've chosen wisely. All right, ladies, give me a hashtag live if you are here watching with us. Give us a hashtag replay if you're watching afterwards. So it is Sunday night. It is Sunday the 31st of July. Guys, we have finished yet another month in this year. So it's a replay if you're not watching with us tonight live. And as with all of our live videos, guys, we are going to have so much fun. So there will be live giveaways throughout all 3 days of the masterclasses. You will never know when I'm going to give something away. I can see your comments coming through. Amazing. I'm going to randomly do giveaways. So it will actually go to the last person who commented when a certain slide pops up. You'll see that slide pop up. It'll go to whoever dropped the last comment at that time. So make sure that you are asking questions, you're answering questions, and dropping your thoughts as we go. Now, I'm actually on my own tonight. I don't have my team with me. Unfortunately, sick kids are in the way. So if you do ask questions, that's fine. But please just be aware I'm going to have to come back and answer those questions later, not as we go along. This is not like one of our normal Sunday night lives. It's not a Q&A sort of session. We're going to run through the topics. And then if you've got any questions, you can put them in the comments and I will come back to them tomorrow morning and answer them for you. I can see Rachel's on, Carly's on, Christy's on. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Sky. Oh, Katie. Katie is on, guys. That's fantastic. I'm so glad Katie's on. Katie's the one that had a sick kid. Alrighty. There are going to be prizes up for grabs, ladies. So particularly for those of you who show up on all 3 days, you are in the draw for a huge prize at the end. We are going to make sure that you're here though, so you have to let us know that you're here. Alrighty? You have to comment below the videos every night. There will be bonus points for those who stick around and do homework. Yes, ladies, we've got homework for you. It's good homework. I promise it's good homework. It's for your own benefit. I promise I'm not going to grade you on your homework, okay? It's going to be super simple and it's going to be something you're going to get a lot out of, I promise. Yes, it's going to be a little bit personal, and for some of you, it might be eye-opening. It might be a little indulgent, but hopefully it's exactly what you need to start putting yourself first, understanding what you want, and having the courage to reach out and grab your goals. Plus, we have our last Christmas in July giveaway to draw out tonight. So we're going to do that at the end, and boy, is it a great prize. I love it. These 3 days are going to be focused on your body, on your health, and helping you to navigate your health and wellness journey in order to reach the end of the year and be well on your way to having a body that you want to flaunt in summer. Can I get a hell yeah? Come on, ladies, give me a hell yeah if you want that to be you. Now, each day has a slightly different focus, alrighty? With the aim that by the end of the 3 days, you will have a really good understanding of where you're at, of where you want to go, and how you are going to get there. I can see Karen's bring it on. Meredith's a woohoo. Hell yeah, says Regan. Okay, but these 3 days is not going to be fluffy pillows and love hearts, okay? Are you going to have to get real with yourself? Yeah, I'm sorry, ladies, but you are. And fair warning right now, to be brutally honest, if you are serious about making an honest change to your health, your diet, your weight, okay, your exercise, your energy levels, then you absolutely have to get real with yourself. Otherwise, things don't work. All right. Quite often, the reason that we fail at consistency with our health and our weight management is because we are often not realistic about where we are starting from or what we actually need to do in order to get to our goal or our destination. So I'm going to ask you over the next 3 days to be really honest with yourself. I'm going to ask you to do the homework, okay? I'm going to ask you to trust me when I say that I've got you. For the next 3 days, I'm right here to guide you. I'm here to support you. And I'm here to show you that you can make the ultimate transformation to stop procrastinating, to stop dreaming and start doing, okay? When it comes to your health and wellness, that's what you need to do. But the only way that you can fail at this 3-day masterclass is if you don't show up for yourself. But you're already here. And that's the hardest part, right? Showing up's the hardest part. So you're already well and truly on your way, ladies. All right, let's have a look at the next 3 days. Day 1, which is tonight, we're going to explore the number one thing that you must do if you want to change the way your body looks and feels. This is where we get down and dirty, ladies, okay? Tonight is down and dirty. We will help you take a good look at where you are at. We will help you make some simple but very significant tweaks, okay, to your lifestyle that will help with your goals. Drop a comment below if this sounds good to you. Perhaps it even sounds a little bit scary. Alrighty. Day 2, we are going to explore some of the most common mistakes when it comes to having a so-called summer body. Yeah? We're going to have a look at what the biggest mistake is that people make when they're trying to achieve that summer body. Alright? And how you can avoid those mistakes so that you can ensure success for yourself more quickly. It's okay if you've made these mistakes. I think we all have. And I think the biggest reason I know about these mistakes is because I've done them myself. But I'll show you how you can make simple tweaks that are going to stop you making those big mistakes. That's going to happen tomorrow. Yep, I can see the connection issues, guys, but there's not much I can do about it. So we're gonna keep rolling through. Hopefully it sorts itself out. You might just be a little bit behind. That's okay. Day 3 are the exact steps that you need to take to make your dreams happen. So day 3 is going to be huge. You will walk out of day 3 with the exact things that you need to do in order to build that summer body that you've always wanted. Alrighty, so just a reminder, it's a hashtag live if you are watching live with us right now. Drop a hashtag replay in the comments if you didn't make it here live but you're still watching. And let's do a giveaway. Alrighty, so according to my live, the last person to comment was Helen Kirsten. Congratulations, Helen. So Helen, you want to flick us an email at the email address is there on the page, and you need to tell us, Helen, whether you want a Coles or Woolies voucher sent your way, my love. Alrighty, congratulations, Helen. That's our first giveaway. Alright, so a little bit about me. I'd like to tell you, for those that don't know me, my name is Amelia, and I am the nutrition coach here at Innerfit for Women. Up until last year, I was also a music teacher in schools, and while that is a rewarding job, my passion really did lie with helping busy women find time to put themselves and their health first. Okay? And so our little company began to grow. I have spent the last 18 months working one-on-one with beautiful women, all of whom are here in this group, to help them realize that they are worthy of self-love, that they are worthy of time for themselves, and that they are worthy of making a few small but significant changes to their lives that have a hugely positive impact on their health and wellness. And yes, a large portion of what we do is based on weight loss or weight management. Personally, I take care of my body, and I've learned to do so through not only studies in this area, so I study nutrition and weight management, but also through trial and error with my own physical workouts, my own diets. I like to push my own body to new limits, and I like to reach my own goals. All in the name of research, guys, so that I can bring you the best information that you both deserve and need to reach your own goals. So everything that you see in our programs, everything you see in this group, I have done myself before sending it on to you, okay? My sole purpose with this work is to help you make your health goals come true. Whether that be to lose weight, have more energy, build some muscle, and maybe even it's just to get your body moving more. I would love for you to introduce yourselves to me in the comments as we go along so that I can learn a little bit more about who you are and what your personal goals are for your health and wellness this year. Alrighty. Oh, my photo has cut off a little bit of text, but I'm sure you can tell that that's a W. Alrighty. So tonight we're going to get a little serious and a little real. It's time to do that. You have obviously signed up for this masterclass because on some level you want to make changes to your health, okay? Maybe more specifically, you want to have a different vibe in your life for summer this year. Maybe that's why you've signed up. And I applaud you for that because this is the first step to making a real change. So my question to you is, what do you want to achieve with your health and wellness? Okay, I want you to have a think about that. You don't necessarily have to write it below, but what do you want to achieve with your health and wellness? Whew. Okay, it's time to get your worksheets out, ladies. What is the number one thing you must do if you want to truly transform your health and your body? If you want to see real results. What is it? What do you think the number one thing is that you must do? The answer is get specific and get honest about where you are at. You have to get really specific. You have to get really honest. You have to get really specific and honest because about where you are and where you can go, because when we get really specific, we get results, right? Now, we need to be realistic and honest and specific about where we are at and where we can go, not necessarily where we want to go. There's a difference, okay? And I want you to remember that there is a difference. Because when we get truly specific and honest, we get real results. And to get truly specific, we actually need to know where we are starting from and where we are going. Because in order to do this, we need some very real and often agonizing data. All right, so on your worksheets, it's time to do the worksheets. We're going to do them together as we go. The first thing I want you to write down is your height, okay, if you know your height. And then I want you to write down your weight, if you know your weight. If you don't, you might want to come back to this later. You don't want to stop this masterclass and go weigh. Then write down your age, okay. Then without thinking too much about it, don't think too much about it. I want you to write what comes to your mind first. Answer the next 3 things in that box. What is your favorite food? What is a food you won't eat? And what is your best feature as a person? I do not want you to overthink this, okay? Don't overthink it. Just write down what comes to mind. There are no right or wrong answers here, guys. This is about you. Just write the first thing that comes to mind. I'm going to give you a little bit of background music while you do this homework. Just a reminder that if you don't have the workout sheets, that's fine. Write these things down on your piece of paper. All right, ladies, if you haven't finished that, you might be able to come back to that a little bit later on. Now, if I asked you, where are you starting your health journey from, what would your answer be? Don't write it down yet. I want you to think. This is thinking. Would you say that you are starting out overweight? Maybe you're obese, unhealthy, unfit. Maybe you would say that you're actually at a healthy weight and you're really happy where you're at, but you'd like to tone up with muscle. Where exactly are you starting from? And more importantly, we're going to talk about how you got there. That is often a question that is overlooked. How you came to be there in the first place. But before we do that, I'd like you to identify exactly where you are at now and why this is a place that you would like to leave. Okay? So I'd like you to write down, where are you starting your health journey from? Some of those words that come to mind. I'm going to give you about 30 seconds with the music, because we love the music. And you're going to write down, using random words, where are you starting your health journey from today? What place are you in? Alrighty, so on your paper, or in your head, I guess, if you want to, I'd like you to identify where you are at in terms of how you're feeling. This is the right now I feel section on your page. I would like you to write down all the words that come to mind for you. Nobody ever has to see this, okay? You can throw it away after this exercise if you want to, but I actually don't recommend that, because one day in the not too distant future, when you have made an epic transformation with the tools that you learn in this masterclass, you're going to want to look back, okay? You're going to want to look back at this list and smile and know that that is not you anymore. So I'd like you to write down the words that jump to mind, and maybe it's those things that hurt you most. This is meant to be a difficult and uncomfortable task. Remember how I said it's all about getting real and getting honest? Use those words that we talked about before. And as you do this, I want you to understand something very clear. It's my job as a nutrition coach to get people results, okay? And in order to do that, we need to know exactly where you're starting from and how you got to that point in the first place. If I don't have all that information as a nutrition coach, I can't get people to where they need to go. And I like to get them there in the fastest and safest way possible. In the same way, you need to be able to give yourself that raw data. You can't be ashamed, you can't be embarrassed, you can't be angry. It is what it is, okay? And if you are having some negative feelings, don't be discouraged, okay? That right there tells you how you feel about where you are currently at, okay? Those feelings of anger or embarrassment or frustration are telling you that you are unhappy about where you are at. Plain and simple, you need to own it and use it to move forward. I'm straight to the point, ladies. I'm not going to beat around the bush, but that is why we get fabulous results on all of our programs, because we look at the data, because we get honest, and because we get real. There is no successful way forward if you don't get real. So I'm not here this week to sugarcoat life for you, to make you feel better about yourselves for doing nothing for yourself, if that makes sense. I'm here to help you get results so that you can make you feel better every single day. All right, that's what I'm here to do. I'm going to give you another minute or so, maybe no more than a minute, to write some more words down on that one. And let's try some different music this time. Hopefully it's not working. Where's my music? There it is. Tell me how you feel, ladies. Write it on your sheet.
You know I met you in the dark, it was a Saturday night. Remember seeing you just dancing in the middle of the crowd. There was something about you, cause you got stuck in my mind. Stuck in my mind, stuck in my mind. I thought I'd give it a go and I started talking to you. I don't know what I said, but the next thing I knew is that I held you in my arms and you asked what we should do. What should we do? What should we do? I said you can do what you want to with me. Yeah, I won't mind. As long as you stay with me, I'm alright. I wanna hold ya. I wanna hold ya. You got those red lips, blue eyes, black skinny jeans, and every move you walk into, you're always setting the scene. I wanna hold ya, hold ya.
Alrighty. Okay. So now that you've done that, and if you haven't finished that, that's okay. You can finish that off a little bit later on. It's important to identify how you actually got here. Can you actually pinpoint the things that have led you to be where you are? We're not looking for excuses here, ladies. We don't want to write down things like, I injured my back a few years ago and it hurts to do workouts, or I'm too busy with the kids to cook healthy meals for myself. Please don't use that excuse on me. There are no excuses in the 3-day masterclass, and you can sure as hell bet that those excuses are what's holding you back. So maybe you need to write down, I keep making excuses, as one of the reasons you are where you are, okay? But I want you to think about it deeper than that. Do you snack when watching TV? Have you stopped walking or playing sport? Do you drink alcohol every night? Do you eat lots of takeaway food? Do you make unhealthy food choices? Do you pick at your kids' plates when you're making lunches or when they haven't finished everything and you just eat it? Guys, those things can add right up. What is it that is keeping you where you are at or that got you here in the first place. Take a minute now to write these things down in the section that says I got here by. It's on your worksheet, and obviously if you've got a pen and paper, you just write I got here by and then note down some of those things. All right, when you are done, I'd like you to write done in the comments below.
You know I met you in the dark, it was a Saturday night. Remember seeing you just dancing in the middle of the crowd. There was something about you, cause you got stuck in my mind. Stuck in my mind, stuck in my mind. I thought I'd give it a go and I started talking to you. I don't know what I said, but the next thing I knew is that I held you in my arms and you asked what we should do. What should we do? What should we do? I said you can do what you want to with me, yeah, I won't mind. As long as you stay with me, I'm alright. I wanna hold ya. I wanna hold ya. You got those red lips, blue eyes, black skinny jeans, and every room you walk into, you're always setting the scene. I wanna hold ya, hold ya. We were out of the club and we started.
Alrighty. Well done. There's heaps of comments coming through, so it must be time for a giveaway. All right, guys, the last person to comment was Kathy Taylor. Kathy, you have won yourself a shopping voucher. You need to email us, lovely. I will. If you want to quickly screenshot so that you've got that email address, you'll need to email info@innerfitforwomen.com. No.au. Please don't put the .au. I'm not sure why there's an AU on there. That's a bit strange. You need to tell us your phone number, email address, and whether you want Coles or Woolies. And I can see Katrina's just asked, yes, it's available on replay, my love. It'll be up for a while. Congratulations, Kathy. Alrighty. Let's keep going. So, this is all giving us a really good idea of where we were at. So now, let's look at where we want to go. We're going to call this the final destination. What will you feel like or look like come December? Okay? What would make you happy? What would make you feel successful? And what would make you feel like you have achieved something with your health and your wellness? I'd like you to take, yes, we're doing a bit of writing tonight, ladies, okay? But this is really important. There is method in my madness, okay? You might have taken the teacher out of the classroom, but you can't take the teacher out of the girl. I'm sorry. I promise you, this is going to be so beneficial for you. All right, so on the worksheet or on your page, we're going to take some time to write down up to 4 things in the section that says, by the start of summer, I want to feel. Here you can write down emotional feelings or physical things, right? Maybe you want to feel better about your mum tum, okay? Or maybe you want to feel some biceps popping through. That's not vain, by the way. It's actually an amazing feeling when you can feel muscles popping through, because it means you've worked your ass off for a very long time to achieve that, okay? So that's not vain. Don't be afraid to write things like that down. Maybe you want to feel your hip bones for a change. Maybe you want to see your toes when you want to look down. Maybe you want to feel in control of your food. Something not even weight related. Maybe you want to feel in control of your food, guys. Maybe you want to feel like exercising every day, okay? What is it that you want to feel? It can be emotional or it can be physical. Write down some of the things that you want to feel by summer, because these, ladies, will become your indicators of success. wonder, ladies, are you willing to share some of these things that you want to feel in the comments below? I'd like to read them, but obviously please don't do it if you don't feel comfortable. But sometimes if we say it out loud, if we tell other people, then we actually become more accountable. We feel like we need to achieve it, okay, in order to save face or something. But it's actually a good thing, because that in turn can actually stop us or slow us from failing. But also, you may write something that triggers a thought for someone else here tonight, and we are all about sharing and helping in this beautiful family. So if you've got the courage to write some of your answers to that by the start of summer you want to feel, you never know, someone else might read it and go, oh, actually that's the word I was trying to use, or that's something I would really like to feel by summer. So I wonder what those things are that you want to feel. I'm happy to share mine if that makes you feel any better. So this summer, I actually want to feel confident in a two-piece bathing suit, okay? It's something that I have never experienced. And a more physical thing I want to do is to feel my quads popping through on my legs, because I have been working damn hard on building those babies this year. So for those that don't know, the quads are the front muscles on your thighs. Okay, so they're my things that I want to feel. I've got one that's emotional and one that's physical. I can see people want to feel stronger and fitter. They want to feel good about the calorie intake and feel good about special times. Thinner legs, exercising daily. A weight number, that's fantastic. That's super specific, which means it's a real tangible goal. I like that one. Wearing a fitted dress. Want to feel smaller in size. Yeah. Feel less overwhelmed. Oh, I like that one. Feeling less overwhelmed. Wow, wouldn't wouldn't we all like that? Well, we can certainly help with some areas of that. You want to feel motivated to use gym membership. Yeah, all those sorts of things. So guys, have a read through the comments and see if there's something there for you that you can do. All right, so that's quite a bit of self-reflection we've done so far, ladies. And the reason we do this is because I'm a believer in getting to the source of the issues, okay, rather than trying to slap a quick fix on top of whatever is happening and hope for the best. That's not going to do anybody any good. In my experience, if we truly understand where we are at and where we want to go, the journey is so much easier to plan, it's easier to navigate, and it's way easier to stick to and execute. Okay, let's chat briefly about this summer body, okay? What does having a summer body look like to you? For some of you, it might be being 10 kilos lighter than you are now. Maybe it means being a dress size smaller than you are now. Maybe it's fitting into a pair of shorts that you love. Maybe it's fitting into a shorter skirt. Maybe it's wearing sleeveless tops with less bingo arms on display. Maybe it's seeing some visible muscle pop through on your arms, or maybe on your shoulders or your legs. Maybe it's having better abs, but I actually want to talk about abs for a sec. I'm going to ask you not to say, please don't say it's having a ripped six-pack, because I'm actually going to give you a bit of information here, ladies, that you may or may not know. If you aren't already relatively lean or working in the gym with body weights, having a six-pack abs this summer is going to be an unrealistic goal. So I want you to throw that one out the window. Unless, like I said, you are already relatively lean and working hard in the gym. A ripped six-pack is super hard for women to achieve. I'm just being brutally honest with you here, guys. It's not unachievable, of course, but it is less achievable than people think it is. So put that on your summer body goal list for next year, maybe, if you are not in that position that we talked about, and we can definitely work towards that. Otherwise, I wonder, what will a summer body look like to you? And I wonder then, what is it that has stopped you from getting to that point already? Why are you not there yet? You listed some things before about how you got to where you are. I want you to have a think. Are any of those things also stopping you from having the summer body that you want? Are some of those things you wrote down that have got you to where you are also stopping you from having that summer body? I bet they are, but that's okay. That's okay because you've already identified them and now we can move on. And that's the first step. But a really good strategy to have in place is to actually plan for your setbacks. We're going to plan for the things that we know might tip you over, the things that might trip you up or send you off course. Because you need to expect them to happen. Because guess what, ladies? They will happen. They're going to happen. There will be days, there will be meals, there will be weeks where you fall off the wagon. You won't eat according to plan. You will indulge in some sugary, chocolatey goodness. You'll go to some parties and drink lots of alcohol. You'll miss a workout or two, okay? You'll miss some walks. That's life. Right here, ladies, right now, I'm telling you that that's okay because you cannot be 100% on point all of the time. That is unrealistic. No one should think that that's the case. Perfection does not exist in this arena, okay? You have to be able to understand that having one off meal, one off day, or an off week does not mean you are a failure. It just means you're having an off week and you get back on it when you're ready. It's a huge thing we talk about in mindset. So what does exist though is your ability to foresee the things that might trip you up, that could potentially be a setback for you. Because knowing about them in advance means that you are likely to be prepared when they do happen. And therefore, they're going to be way easier to overcome. Alrighty, so we have identifying what has stopped you from already being at your ideal body weight. I feel like I've just missed a whole slide here. Give me a second. Yep, I missed a slide here. Sorry. Give me 2 seconds, ladies. I just need to fix something up here. Okay. So, we are going to talk about our homework. So this is what we're going to do with our potential setbacks, and we're going to look at how we can overcome them. So this bit is going to be homework for you. Your homework between now and our session tomorrow is to identify some of those potential setbacks, okay? Some things that might come up for you between now and December. Christmas parties don't count, ladies, because we are actually going to aim to have you looking fabulous before those Christmas parties happen anyway. We're going to aim for like mid-December, I reckon. I think that's probably a good time to aim for. So after you've written down the things that could potentially be a setback for you, and these are things that may have already been a setback for you in the past, okay? We are going to think about some of the ways that you can overcome those setbacks. Maybe these are things you can do to stop those setbacks from even happening. For example, I'm always going to give you an example. A setback for me is that I always get peckish when I'm hungry and I have to wait for my meal to be cooked. So, for example, I'm cooking dinner, but it's taking 15 minutes and I'm starving. So I will start to eat things, random things. I'll grab a handful of Nutri-Grain out the cupboard. I might have a banana. I might start picking at some nuts, okay? All while my beautifully healthy meal is cooking. So to get around that, I know that I need to overcome that by meal prepping, okay? Even down to meal prepping my snacks so that I know what I can grab when I'm hungry. For me also, I eat a lot of regular meals during the day and generally have all my meals ready to go so that I'm not standing around and cooking and being hungry while I'm cooking. That's how I overcome that habit of mine, that potential setback. So there are spots on your day one worksheet for you to write down what your potential setbacks might be, and then to try and think about some of the ways that you can overcome those setbacks or even stop them from happening. So you're going to write those down on your sheet before tomorrow's session. My suggestion is that you do it tonight after this live. We are nearly at the end of tonight's class, guys. So you do it tonight while you're in the zone, okay, rather than wait till tomorrow. If you do it tonight and then tomorrow we can share, and that'll get you in the running for a prize at the end. So that is your homework, ladies. What are some potential setbacks and how could you possibly overcome them? Oh, it's giveaway time. Yay. Guys, the last person to comment was Jane Way. Congratulations, Jane. You have won yourself a shopping voucher. The email address is there on the page, my love. Please take the .au off of that email address. I still don't know why it's on there. I'll get that fixed for tomorrow night. And let us know whether you want to shop at Coles or Woolies. And we also need your phone number and your email address. Thank you, lovely. Send that through. Congratulations. Okay, so let's have a look at... Beautiful. Just checking I hadn't missed anything. Let's have a look at tomorrow, because today we've done a lot of looking at who you are and where you might want to be come summer. Okay, we've done a lot of that tonight. Tomorrow we're going to look at the number one mistake people make when trying to get that summer body and what you can do to avoid that mistake to ensure that your dreams really do come true. Tomorrow we will also go through the homework and your homework tasks, so make sure you're finishing the day one sheet, ladies. And those homework tasks are your ticket of entry into the big draw on the third day. So take some time to do it. It shouldn't be more than a minute or two when we hop off of this call. Just indulge yourself, ladies, because you're here for you, okay? You're not here for anybody else but you. So indulge a little bit, be a little bit selfish if that's the way you're feeling, and really just take this time to reflect, because if you're serious about moving forward to that summer body, which I know you are because you're here on the masterclass, then you are allowed to take these few minutes to do that. All right. In fact, I think it's necessary. But all right, let's have a look. We need to draw the winner of our last Christmas in July prize. So this one was for a voucher to spend on our website, which is a little bit convenient seeing as there's a new program coming up. I cannot change the screen because I'm on my laptop tonight. Some of you will have noticed that all my coloring's a little bit off. But I'm going to spin the wheel in the background. So you guys all know the sound of this wheel by now. I'm going to turn it up so you can hear it. All right. There we go. Alrighty. The winner is Reagan. I'm not sure if it's Regan or Reagan Pay. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. You can let me know. You have won, Reagan, the $30 voucher to spend on our website. Lovely. If you can flick me a personal message or email us at info@innerfitforwomen.com, and you can give me, then I'll have your email address and I'll get that sent over to you. Alrighty. Before I leave you tonight, ladies, I want to remind you of one thing. Summer starts in 4 months exactly. 4 months tomorrow, okay? If you don't start thinking about action, taking action now, you won't get there with your goals as a reality. What we are doing here is looking at the whole you, so that when you embark on this journey, there will be no surprises. You will have preempted those potential setbacks. You will know what your strengths are. You will know what your shortcomings are. Okay, you will know what they have been in the past, and you can be ready to push those shortcomings aside to go hell for leather straight towards your goal. What I can promise you is that if you do this with us over the next 3 days, you will be so thankful that you did, and you will be a hell of a lot closer to reaching your goals come this summer. But if you start to think, you know what, I've still got 4 months, I'm going to worry about this later, that's okay too. Just please don't come back to me with surprise if it doesn't work out as well as you hope. That's why I've preempted and done this masterclass now in July, as opposed to doing it in October, because right now we've got time to get you beautiful ladies where it is that you want to go. That's what this masterclass is all about, and that's what we do here at Innerfit. All right, ladies, thank you for joining me tonight. I have managed to keep it to under 1 hour. If there are any parts of your worksheet that you didn't get to finish, I highly encourage you spend the next few minutes finishing that off. I promise you will love it. You'll need it tomorrow, and you'll want to look back on it eventually. Alrighty. Tomorrow night I'll see you here at the same time. It'll be 7:30. If you are watching the replay, go back. If you're here with us live, you need to go back and go through some stuff. Feel free to screenshot things as you go. Go forth. Have an amazing Monday tomorrow. And I will see you here tomorrow night for an epic day 2. You're going to love it. All right, ladies. Bye.